Imagine standing in a home filled with decades of cherished possessions, facing a tight 48-hour deadline to relocate, and discovering a transformative system that not only clears the clutter, but also liberates your spirit. For many seniors, the thought of decluttering a lifetime of memories can feel paralyzing, especially when time is short, energy is limited, and emotions run deep. Yet one individual, a 73-year-old facing a cross-country move, defied the odds. In just 2 days, they not only cleared a 3-bedroom home, but also uncovered a newfound sense of freedom. How? By employing 7 counterintuitive strategies that defy conventional decluttering wisdom. These methods, grounded in psychological insights and practical efficiency, are designed specifically for seniors navigating the emotional and physical challenges of downsizing. By the end of this guide, you'll have a detailed roadmap to reclaim your space and your life, no matter how overwhelmed you feel. What's your biggest decluttering challenge? Share it in the comments below, and let's start this journey together. The emotional weight of clutter. For many seniors, a home is more than a physical space. It's a repository of life's milestones. According to a 2023 study from the Journal of Aging and Social Policy, nearly 60% of adults over 65 report feeling emotionally attached to possessions, making decluttering a daunting task. The individual in our story faced this reality after losing their spouse 2 years prior. Their home had become a museum of untouched memories, each item a tether to the past. Sound familiar? The fear of letting go, coupled with the exhaustion of decision-making, traps many in a cycle of clutter. Yet, this person's breakthrough came from rejecting traditional advice that emphasizes slow, sentimental sorting. Instead, they embraced 7 bold strategies that prioritized efficiency, emotional clarity, and forward-focused living. Let's dive into these transformative techniques. Strategy 1. The Triage Method, ruthless prioritization. In emergency medicine, doctors use triage to focus on what matters most, saving lives by avoiding indecision. Similarly, the first strategy, the Triage Method, applies this principle to decluttering. A 2024 study from the University of Copenhagen's Department of Psychology highlights that decision fatigue can derail decluttering efforts within 20 minutes for older adults. To counter this, divide your possessions into 3 categories in just 15 minutes per room. Category 1, Essentials. Items you can't live without, such as medications, vital documents, and daily use items like a favorite teacup or glasses. Category 2, Potential Needs, the might-need-it-someday items that often cause hesitation. This is the danger zone where indecision thrives. Category 3, Unused for over a year. Items untouched for 12 months or more, which are automatically eliminated. The game changer. Treat Category 2 like Category 3. Research from the Mayo Clinic's 2023 aging studies suggests that the fear of needing it someday is a primary driver of clutter retention, yet less than 5% of such items are ever used again. For example, in the kitchen, the individual identified 23 coffee mugs but realized they only drank tea. 3 full sets of china, unused since 1987, and a bread maker used twice in a decade, were donated or discarded. This swift, merciless approach freed them from paralysis, replacing anxiety with empowerment. What's your might-need-it-someday category? Drop it in the comments to confront it head-on. Strategy 2, the 10-minute sprint, beating decision fatigue. Mental stamina is a finite resource, especially for seniors. A 2024 Harvard Medical School study on cognitive aging found that older adults experience decision fatigue after just 10 to 15 minutes of complex choices. The second strategy leverages this by limiting decluttering to 10-minute sprints per specific area. not an entire room, but a single drawer, shelf or cabinet. When the timer rings, stop, even if the task isn't complete. This prevents the overwhelm that derails most efforts. For instance, tackling a bedroom dresser drawer, the individual sorted through expired medications, 17 non-working pens, and outdated manuals in just 10 minutes, filling a trash bag and reclaiming space. By stopping while energy remained, they avoided burnout and even looked forward to the next session. Over one day, 24 10-minute sprints added up to 4 hours of focused work without exhaustion. This method turns decluttering into manageable, satisfying bursts. Do you try to tackle entire rooms and burn out? Share your experience in the comments, and let's explore how sprints can change your approach. Strategy 3, the stranger test, detaching from sentiment. Emotional attachment is the biggest barrier to decluttering. A 2023 study in the Journal of Gerontology found that 70% of seniors hesitate to discard sentimental items due to guilt or nostalgia. The third strategy, the stranger test, cuts through this by asking, would a stranger understand why I kept this, or would they think I'm hoarding? This mental shift removes emotional bias, offering clarity. For example, the individual applied this to 23 photo albums filled with blurry or duplicate images. A stranger would see no value in keeping most, so they condensed them into 3 meaningful albums that told a coherent story. Similarly, 47 decorative pillows and 12 throw blankets, kept despite safety concerns about candles, were donated, as a stranger would question their purpose. This approach transformed guilt into practicality, freeing mental and physical space. What items would a stranger question in your home? Share in the comments to gain perspective. Strategy 4, the replacement reality check, conquering what if. The fear of needing something irreplaceable fuels clutter. The fourth strategy, the replacement reality check, dismantles this with 3 questions. Can I realistically replace this item if needed? What's the actual cost of replacement today? How often have I needed this in the last 5 years? A 2024 study from the University of Michigan's Institute for Social Research found that 80% of just-in-case items are never used, yet their storage costs, space, stress, and time are significant. The individual applied this to 12 screwdrivers scattered in drawers. Replacement cost, under 15 times used in 5 years, 0. They kept one and donated the rest. Similarly, a bread maker and juicer, unused for years, were discarded after realizing replacements were affordable and unnecessary. This logic liberated them from irrational fears, proving that the cost of clutter outweighs occasional replacement expenses. What's one item you're keeping just in case that you could replace for under $20? Share it below for a reality check. Strategy 5. The energy investment scale, preserving emotional stamina. Seniors have limited emotional energy for decision-making. A 2023 study from the American Psychological Association notes that emotional fatigue in older adults can halt decluttering within an hour. The fifth strategy, the energy investment scale, prioritizes energy allocation. Rate items from 1, no emotional value, to 10, deeply meaningful. Low-rated items get no energy, straight to donation or trash. High-rated items receive careful consideration and proper storage. For example, the individual rated romance novels A1, donated immediately, and a grandmother's handwritten cookbook, a 9, preserved with care. This approach cleared a cramped closet in 45 minutes by focusing energy on the 12 regularly worn clothing items, donating the rest. By refusing to waste energy on low-value items, they reclaimed mental clarity for meaningful decisions. What items are draining your emotional energy? Name them in the comments to start letting go. Strategy 6. The future self-test. embracing evolution. Decluttering often stalls when tied to past identities. The sixth strategy, the future self-test, asks, does this item serve the person I'm becoming or anchor me to a completed past? A 2024 study from Stanford University's Center on Longevity emphasizes that forward-focused thinking enhances well-being in older adults. The individual, a retired professional, let go of business suits that no longer fit their relaxed, volunteer-driven lifestyle. Outdated business books were donated to make room for gardening and travel guides, aligning with new passions. This shift turned decluttering into an exciting step toward growth, not a loss. Who is your future self, and what do they need? Share your vision in the comments to make it real. Strategy 7. Completion ceremonies. Letting go with gratitude. Letting go of sentimental items can feel like betrayal. The seventh strategy, completion ceremonies, transforms this by honoring items before release. A 2023 study from the Journal of Positive Psychology found that gratitude rituals reduce regret in decluttering. The individual held a career celebration for their business wardrobe, recalling achievements before donating to help others. For photos, a memory celebration involved thanking each batch before recycling duplicates, preserving memories in their heart. These ceremonies turned guilt into gratitude, ensuring closure. What ceremony could help you release sentimental items? Share your ideas below. The transformation, freedom through decluttering. When the moving truck arrived, the individual was ready, not just with empty rooms, but with a liberated spirit. They donated 12 truckloads to families in need, packed only what served their future, and moved into a new chapter. 3 months later, they were teaching art, volunteering, and exploring new relationships, proving that decluttering is about making room for life. Which strategy will you try first? Drop it in the comments, hit like if this resonates, and share this guide with someone who needs it. For weekly strategies to make your next chapter the best, subscribe and ring the bell.